Today, I'd like to discuss a major community issue that will persist. Women are opposing their own MGTOW movement. Because of its importance, you must pay attention to this difficult concept. You must listen to everything I say. I rarely order this. Let's start right away, because their strategy is almost useless. You ask how women are trying to end the MGTOW movement. But first, I must explain how third-wave women's rights has caused many problems, most of which will be discussed in the next video. Thus, women's rights benefits men. However, let's get back on track and discuss women's plans to establish an anti-men society due to third-wave women's rights indoctrinating most of them. They are also changing laws, swaying lawmakers, and using social media like YouTube. The worst is indoctrinating young children with anti-male propaganda. YouTube exemplifies social media. YouTube supports women's rightist and other anti-male views, as I expected when discussing those platforms. Father's Day was not filmed. YouTube. Society believes third-wave women's rights is okay, because women should get everything for free. Men are also expected to do everything for free. Now that that's settled, let's discuss MGTOW's origins. Third-wave women's rights started spreading propaganda. Thus, men's lives were heck. I mean literal heck. Thus, one person rebelled and went against the crowd. Then social media rapidly spread the principles. Appreciators of the idea understood the issue and adopted the MGTOW philosophy. This is not how MGTOW was created, but it was similar. I had no idea MGTOW was inactive until I found a blog post from over 10 years ago. This 2006 January 2nd blog post discounted me. Supposedly, MGTOW wrote it. I found out MGTOW has been around for over a decade while editing. Wow. I didn't have time to read it all. I cannot read everything to you. Let's proceed. You now understand how MGTOW is built. Let's discuss ending the third wave of women's rights, because you can't. Given the country's culture and state, you can't stop it. Ignore it to stop it. Ignore it easily. Just go to MGTOW and trust me. Ignore it if you can't solve it. Though God knows how long it will take, it may already be having an impact. Video. I think I found it in the US or Australia. It showed how these women wanted to be housewives again. Like the 1950s, when housewives were celebrated. They took care of the residents' children and avoided being welfare queens. Those were great times. I spoke to Team MGTOW Wednesday night. We concur that this third wave of feminist garbage will continue. Man, those were the good old days. It could happen 20 to 30 years from now, but we won't know until it does. As I mentioned, seeing those women try to become housewives changed my mind. That changed my mind. After that, the film's main point is that women are trying to help the big trend third wave women's rights, which they started by reminding you of that. Example. Real life example. It also revealed that some women are undermining the MGTOW movement. I also considered this topic as a whole, honestly, stupid. However, this happened. I found a YouTube video of a bicycle riding woman acting irrationally during a traffic stop while browsing the internet. This police car dashcam footage is why I don't want to get married, I said. I meant the woman going crazy over a minor traffic ticket. It was illogical. I don't understand her obsession with that. I didn't want to seem anti-women. I never intended to offend women. I didn't see how saying I don't want to marry was insulting. That MGTOW wasn't mentioned. First, women being MGTOWs isn't bias. I'm unsure if this person is a feminist. Taylor replied to my message by telling me to freak off with your NC, which is bias. I don't want a big brain. Okay. I don't have much intelligence, but I was able to respond to her reply cleverly. I said it appears we have an offended one. Talk to it. In response to a comment, okay, going to make time movement is not bias, but about men breaking cultural norms by not getting married and rebelling against established practices. Heightening isn't bias. Its justifications were not bias. They're truthful. We know witches can handle the truth. MGTOW is non-bias. People's excuses aren't bias either. You're a spoiled brat, so leave and go to your safe place. I make tall events for women like you. I realized that this was one of those teaching moments a mom would do to their kid, and thank God I had a kid to teach. Next day, she was devastated and blamed the MGTOW community for her death. I'll share this. Since he's against her and they're on my side, I'll assume they're MGTOW. After a few ruined remarks, I added another column to that video transcript to share it with the rest of the MGTOW community. I replied to another YouTuber named Coke, but I'm not sure if he meant the soda or sugar. I wrote that this gentleman can teach us a lot. MGTOW is judgmental. Second, don't bother MGTOWs. Only third men towers work. I didn't want to cuss this year. In this case, I had to cuss. Don't let the ladies hold you back. This video isn't about how I wrecked this woman in the YouTube comments. To help us, please watch this video. Please subscribe and send this video to anybody you think will benefit from it the most.